Here's the complete mom and dad playing together.
My nephew
caught me when I was playing with my cat.
When I look back on my
family
childhood,
drama story.
there are countless memories
Emily had
that make
always
me
been
laugh,
known as
cry,
the fun-loving,
and sometimes
slightly
shake my
quirky
head in
aunt
disbelief.
in her family.
Growing
She
up
was in
in
a
her
suburban
early
neighborhood
30s,
in Ohio,
unmarried,
I
and
always
living
thought
alone
my
in a
parents,
small but
Karen
cozy
and
house
David
on the
Miller,
edge of town,
were the most ordinary
her closest
people in the
companion
world.
wasn't a
They were
person,
kind,
but her big fluffy
hard-working,
cat
and
named
fiercely
Whiskers.
protective of their
Whiskers
children.
was not just a
but
pet,
there was one
he was
particular
Emily's
day,
best
a
friend,
moment
her
burned
comfort
into my
after
memory
long work
when I
days,
saw them in a
and her
way
little
I had never
partner
seen
in everyday
before.
mischief.
That moment
One
didn't
Saturday
break me or
afternoon,
scar me.
Emily had been
Instead,
sprawled out
it
on the
taught me
living room
something
carpet,
about love,
laughing
resilience,
as Whiskers
and the
chased
way
a toy
adults
mouse
try to
she
keep
pulled
their
across the
families
rug
together,
with a string.
even when
Her
life
laughter
tests them in
filled the
ways
house,
we, as
echoing
kids,
off the walls.
can't understand at the
She
time.
didn't know that
I
her
was only
10-year-old
16
nephew,
when it
Ryan,
happened.
had decided
It
to
was
come
a rainy
over a little
Saturday
earlier
in
than
late
expected
spring,
with
and
his
the
mom
house smelled
Emily's
like
older
fresh
sister,
laundry
Amanda.
and my mom's famous
Ryan
chicken
pushed
noodle
the front
soup.
door open
My
slightly.
little sister,
It had been
Emily,
left unlocked,
who was 10
as
at the
Emily
time,
trusted her
was in the
quiet
living room
neighborhood.
watching cartoons.
As soon as he
wrapped
stepped
in a
inside,
blanket,
he heard
I had
Emily's
just finished
laughter.
mowing the lawn
Curious,
in the drizzle
he
because
walked
Dad had
further
insisted.
and peeked into the
A little
living room.
rain never hurt
What he
anybody.
saw made him
I
freeze.
disagreed.
Emily
of
was
course,
rolling on the
but
carpet,
Dad's word was
laughing
usually
so
final.
hard that she had
As
tears
I walked
in her eyes,
inside,
clutching
dripping
Whiskers
wet and
who
shivering,
wriggled in her
I
arms,
threw my sneakers in the
paused batting at the
mudroom
toy
and wandered
string.
down the hallway
To Ryan,
toward the kitchen.
walking in mid-scene,
That's when I
it
heard
looked
it.
unusual.
At first,
He had
I
never
thought
seen
Mom and
his
Dad
usually
were
calm
arguing,
and
something that
composed
wasn't
Aunt
uncommon
rolling
in our
around
house
like a
back
child
then.
with her cat.
They had been under a
Aunt
lot of
Emily,
stress.
Ryan's
Bills piling
voice
up,
cracked with
Dad
surprise.
working late shifts at
Emily
the
sat
auto
up
repair shop,
instantly,
Mom
her
managing
cheeks
2
pink.
part-time jobs to
Ryan,
keep food on the table.
oh my goodness,
Their
you
voices
scared
were
me.
low but intense.
She scooped up
and I
Whiskers,
hesitated,
who meowed
not
loudly,
wanting to interrupt.
clearly unhappy
But
that
then
playtime had
I
ended
heard
so
laughter.
soon.
Not
Ryan
just any
tilted his
laughter,
head,
the kind of
squinting.
playful,
What?
light-hearted
What
laughter
were you
that had been
doing?
missing from
Emily
our home
giggled
for months.
nervously.
It startled
Playing
me.
with Whiskers.
I slowly
He
peeked
loves
around
this
the
silly
corner
game
of the
with the
dining
mouse
room,
string.
and that's when I
But
saw
Ryan,
them. Being at
my
the
parents
age where
were
he
in the
thought
middle
adults
of what
always
could only
had to
be
act
described
serious,
as a silly,
didn't quite know what to
spontaneous
make of
game.
it.
He
Dad
said
was
nothing,
chasing Mom
but
around
his
the kitchen
puzzled
island,
expression
holding a
lingered
dish
all
towel
through the
like
rest
a
of the
flag.
afternoon.
While Mom darted
Later
away,
that evening,
giggling like
during
a
dinner
teenager,
with the family,
she grabbed
Ryan
a handful
finally
of flour
spoke up.
from the counter.
Mom,
She had been
you won't
baking bread
believe what
earlier
Aunt
and
Emily
tossed
was
it
doing
at him.
today.
A white
Amanda
puff
raised an
exploded across
eyebrow.
Dad's shirt.
What do you
and
mean,
instead of getting
honey?
mad,
He
she
was
was
on
on
the
the
floor
floor
with the cat,
his eyes sparkling
laughing
in a way
and rolling
I hadn't
around.
seen in years.
It was
I
kind of
froze.
weird.
Here were
The
my
whole
parents,
table went
2
silent
people I had
for a
grown
moment,
used to seeing
and Emily
stressed,
felt her face
tired,
warm
and serious,
She quickly
suddenly
jumped in.
acting like carefree
Oh,
kids.
Ryan,
They didn't
it wasn't
see me
weird,
at first,
I promise.
and in that hidden moment,
Whiskers
I
and
felt
I were
like
just
I was
playing.
witnessing a side
Cats
of them
need
I had never
exercise
known.
too, you
Mom
know.
ducked behind
Amanda
the fridge,
chuckled.
her brown hair
Emily,
messy from running,
you've always
and
had a
Dad
different
caught her by
sense
the
of
wrist,
fun.
pulling
Nothing
her into
wrong
a
with
playful
that.
spin.
But
They
Ryan
looked at
still
each other
seemed
for a long
unsure.
moment.
Adults
Laughing
don't
so
usually
hard
play
tears
like
rolled
that.
down their cheeks.
At least, and then
Not
they
the ones
hugged.
I know. Not
Emily
a quick,
leaned forward
distracted
gently.
hug like they usually
Ryan,
shared when Dad left
sometimes
for work,
adults forget
but
how
a
to
real,
have fun.
tight embrace
I don't
that said
ever want to
everything
lose
words
that.
couldn't.
Playing
I backed
keeps
away
me happy,
quietly,
and
my
Whiskers
chest full of
loves it
emotions
too.
I couldn't
Do
name.
you want me to show
Relief.
you?
Ryan
Happiness.
hesitated,
Confusion.
then nodded. Even
So
a little
after dinner,
embarrassment,
Emily
because
brought
it felt
Whiskers'
like I
toy
had
box
stumbled
into the
into
living
something
room.
private and
She dangled
sacred.
the mouse string
That
again,
day stayed
and
with me,
Whiskers
but it
instantly
wasn't
pounced,
just a funny
sliding
family
across
memory.
the rug.
It became
Ryan's
the turning
eyes
point in
widened
how
with
I
amusement.
understood my parents
Soon,
and their marriage.
he was laughing too.
Over the next
Chasing
few
the
weeks,
toy
I
alongside
started
Whiskers,
noticing
while
subtle
Emily
changes.
watched with a proud smile.
They cooked together
The
more
next
often,
hour flew
turned
by
on
in
music
joy
in
and
the
giggles.
evenings, and
By
even
the
dragged
end,
me and
Ryan
Emily into
collapsed
board
on the
games
carpet
after
next
dinner.
to Whiskers,
It felt
who
like a
purred
storm
loudly,
had passed,
basking in
and
the
we were
attention.
finally seeing
You were
sunshine
right,
again.
Aunt Emily.
One night,
Ryan admitted,
while helping Mom
catching
clean
his
up after
breath.
dinner,
This
I
is
asked,
actually fun.
"What's going on with you
I
and
get
Dad?"
it now. You two
Emily
seem
ruffled his
different.
hair. She
See,
smiled.
sometimes
drying a
it's
plate
okay
with
to
a
be a
towel.
little silly.
Different good
Life
or
doesn't
different
always
bad.
have to be
Good,
serious.
I admitted.
From then on,
it's
Ryan
just,
never saw
you
his
both
aunt
seem
as weird
happier.
again. She
Instead,
paused,
he
looking
admired her
thoughtful.
for being different,
marriage
for
isn't
teaching
easy.
him that it was
Honey,
okay to laugh and
sometimes
play,
you forget
no matter
how
to laugh
old you got.
together. And
What
life feels
started
heavier
as an
than it
awkward
should.
misunderstanding
But your
turned
dad
into
and
a
I
cherished
realized
family
we
memory,
needed to fight
and
for the
Ryan
joy we
often
used
looks
to
back
have.
on that day as
That
the
doesn't
moment he
mean
realized
everything is
adults
perfect,
could still have
but we're
childlike
trying.
joy.
And
as
trying
for
matters.
Emily, she
Her
learned that
words
even
sank
small
deep into me.
misunderstandings could
At
open the
16,
door to deeper
I was just
bonds
beginning
with the
to
people she
understand that
loved.
adults weren't superheroes, they were people with flaws, struggles, and the same need for love and connection as anyone else. Years later, when I left for college, I carried that memory with me. Whenever I faced challenges, whether it was a failed exam, a falling out with a friend, or the stress of juggling part-time work with classes, I remembered my parents playing in the kitchen that day. I remembered how laughter had carried them through their hardest times. Even now, as an adult, I realize that moment was about more than just seeing mom and dad play together. It was about understanding that love isn't just about romance or grand gestures, it's about choosing joy, even in the middle of hardship. Sometimes, when I visit home, I still catch them sneaking playful glances at each other, cracking inside jokes, or dancing to music while cooking dinner. Emily and I tease them for being cringy, but deep down, I'm grateful. Grateful that I got to see love in action, not just in words. Because that day, all those years ago, reminded me and continues to remind me that the heart of family is built on laughter, forgiveness, and the courage to hold on to joy when life tries to take it away.